Hi. In many cases, when you meet a seller for the first time, it's likely that they're about to decide on an agent to sell with because they've already decided to sell. Whether we like it or not, the decision about which agent they will choose will be made based on their feeling about the agent. Sometimes, admittedly, it'll be because of a great track record and a brilliant profile, but not everyone can claim those assets. Let's define charisma. Marcus Corah from Real Influencers Masterclass can help with that. Marcus, firstly, can you define charisma for me?
I can, Kevin, and it's one of those qualities I think that, so I've got a dictionary definition, which I'm actually going to read out for you, but it's one of those qualities for me that's slightly beyond a dictionary definition. But here's the Cambridge Dictionary definition. It says a special power that some people have naturally that makes them able to influence other people and attract their attention and admiration. Now, that's a pretty woolly way of basically saying, for me, it's about really connecting with people and helping them to feel that connection as well. That's what charisma means to me, because you're attracting their attention because you're putting your attention onto them.
Yeah, a good friend of mine whose opinion I respect highly, and I don't have her permission to use her name, so I won't use it, but I would certainly want to use the gem she gave me once, and that was that when you're doing a listing presentation or to secure a listing, the male in the combination will probably decide on the method, but the female will definitely decide on the agent. And it comes down to what you just said about feeling. And, and I think so many agents, I said in the introduction there about, I'm a good guy and I'm pretty good at what I do, so I'm going to wing it until I make it. It just doesn't cut it anymore. You've got to be a lot more than just a good agent.
Correct. I think for me personally, I think you need to have some rigor and a process, and you need to sort of test and learn ideas as you go so that you can develop that process. I think the best of the best have done the winging in their early career, and they don't wing anymore. No. They have a process that they use which enables them to dance in the moment, if you will. And it's just it might be a series of steps that they take people through. It might be a series of emotions that they take people through. It could be anything. But I think that the days of winging it are kind of gone. I don't think this market allows us to wing it. There's too much competition now. There's less property around than there was in, say, 2017 and before, and things have changed. The days of winging it for me are well and truly over. So yes, I'm a big fan of have a strategy, have a plan, go with the plan.
Yeah, so often we see an agent who's very new to the industry, therefore has very little track record and probably, in fairness, a lack of knowledge, but they're still able to win listings, and they win it because of that charisma. They win it because they can instill a confidence in someone that they can actually get the job done. So a lot of it comes down to feeling.
I'm 100% with you there, Kevin. Yeah, 100.
Marcus, you've made a wonderful offer. We're going to make Marcus's ebook available as a free download here. And thank you for doing that, Marcus, by the way. I want to pick up on a few points inside that ebook. And the ebook is called Charisma Listings. Excuse me, looking down here at it, but it's all about how to win more listings using charisma strategies. And I want to pick up on the three strategies that you highlight in this ebook. The first one is a bit like the customer is always right.
Yes. So I've worded it slightly differently, but I think that's on the money. Now, the customer is always right. For me, that refers to a conversation piece. And I think if I'm going to draw a comparison or draw a distinction, I should say, is the customer is always right. In this case, in the charisma listings, what I'm actually talking about is never making the seller's previous choices wrong. Okay, so that is the customer is always right. the difference is one's historic and one's kind of current and in the now. And I think for me, so before I, hand on heart, Kevin, before I wrote the ebook, we actually got a couple of agents round to our house, and this is what the ebook was actually based on. And the experience that we got, me and my wife got from these agents coming through the home. And it was really, really interesting because some of them made our previous choices wrong, like where we had bought, the street we had bought on, the state of something, the color choices, whatever it happens to be. And as you're going around someone's home, regardless of what, as an agent, you personally think about it, I wondered whether or not that detraction, that push away, basically when the agents did this, it pushed us away from them. Because what they were really saying is my style choice, my choices in life are more superior to yours.
It's a bit like talking down to someone, isn't it? You're talking down, you're putting them down instead of trying to build rapport, which is all about, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you've really got to look for something to connect with. Okay, so you might walk around and you might hate the purple bedroom, but inside that purple bedroom, you might find a photograph of a kid playing football. And there's the connection. You make the connection through that. You don't make a negative about the purple wall.
And I think a lot of the comments per se are fairly superficial. If you take the purple wall, for example, it's a pretty easy fix. In that moment, though, look, to backtrack, I get that agents realize that if they give sellers advice as to how they could improve their home, that could improve the price that they can sell for. I get that.
Yeah.
I think there is a place to do that.
And there's a time. There's a time and place.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it's the moment where you're trying to win the listing.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I think it might happen after you've won the listing, when there is that more of that relationship and trust. And it's the way you say it as well. You know, if money and making the maximum amount of money from their home is really the emotional desire that seller's trying to fulfill, then yes, helping them to maximize the value pre-inspection and sale is going to be advice they're going to want to hear.
Yeah,
but if if their emotional desire is not getting the best possible price, maybe it's they want to move more quickly, maybe they want something else, then giving them that kind of advice, especially when you're just going round as one of 3 or 4 agents, it just puts people off. I mean,
okay. Well, I want to go to the second strategy now, and leading into that, I just want to go back to that purple wall again. And you make a compliment about the football, or you make a compliment about the child or something. There's a place, there are good compliments and there are compliments that aren't good. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so the second strategy, I've kind of called it helping the seller to feel good about themselves and about their property. So it's kind of the opposite of what we've already talked about. Yeah. And that is about finding that common ground, but also really paying those compliments. And there are lots of different types of compliments that you can pay. We've kind of looked at the negative side in terms of how they could make an improvement, and that's technically not a compliment. But the other kind of compliments that people can pay are they're irregular compliments. Now, the issue with a regular compliment, and a regular compliment might be, wow, what a lovely kitchen you have, wow, what a lovely painting you have on the wall, or whatever it happens to be. Now, although compliments are good, and I encourage agents, of course, to make compliments, I'm going to say if you make a compliment that everybody else makes, then that can be not a negative compliment, but it's not a distinguishing compliment. It's not a compliment that's going to help you to stand out. So what I talk about in the ebook is really this idea of a struggle compliment. Because people in life, for whatever reasons, personally, financially, renovation-wise, whatever it happens to be, all of us have struggles. It's okay. I'm happy to admit I've had them, and I'm sure you have as well, Kevin. Everybody has struggles. And when you connect to what I've called a struggle compliment, and you pay someone a struggle compliment, it really connects with them at a very deep emotional level, because what you're doing in that moment is you're going, I've noticed something you put effort into, and I want to say that effort has paid off. That's basically the framework from within which you pay that compliment.
Oh, beautifully said. Yeah.
Acknowledging it really helps you to connect very, very deeply with that person, because they feel like you really care about them, and you're really helping them to feel good about themselves and helping them to feel good about their property.
Yeah, and everyone loves to know that you understand them. And that's really what you're saying. I understand you. I'm listening to you. It's the best compliment you can make to anyone. Which leads me to my third one. And I love this one, because I think this is where a lot of us as real estate agents totally fall down when we think it's all about us. You know, I'm going to win the business because I'm good. I'm going to win it's all about my profile. So all I'm going to do is go in and talk about me, and then of course they will have to buy me. It is not about you as the agent. You've got to make the other person feel important.
Yes. So strategy number 3, yes, help the seller feel important. So it's so important. And it's something we touched on last time in the last interview. And it's something I'm a massive fan of. Look, nobody cares about me. What you care about is there something in my head that helps you to go from A to B? And it's exactly the same, regardless of the business you're in, regardless of whether or not you're a brilliant real estate agent or you're just starting out. You have to realize that the days of going in going, hey, I'm amazing, look at all these properties I've sold. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But do I want to work with a complete egomaniac? Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah.
But do I want to work with someone who cares about me, who helps me to feel good about this process? Look, selling a home is an incredibly stressful situation. Having moved from the UK to Australia, I can tell you that's even slightly more stressful. But just selling a home, you're uprooting an entire part of your life when you move home. And it's a big stressful event, and you want to work with people that make you feel good about yourself. You want to work with agents that care about you and that put the attention onto you and, you know, understanding your situation and what you're going through. So this whole making them feel important is about caring about them, as you absolutely said, and putting your focus onto them.
Can I ask you to sum up in just a moment before I do just one point that I wanted to make, and that is that when you go to secure a listing, we need to understand that the sellers want a sale. Of course, they want a sale. That's why they've called you in. But more importantly, they're going to be thinking, okay, can I really work with this person for the next month, 2 months? How am I going to gel with them? Because quite frankly, if you can't get a relationship with the seller, I can assure you, you will not sell the property.
Correct. And I think in terms of a summary, that is the key. It's all about you understanding as an agent that when you only have maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour max in somebody else's home to make the right impression. The right impression is, yes, you're smart, you've got the knowledge, you can sell the home. But it's also that, as you said at the very beginning, the husband's going to be looking at the process. More often than not, the wife or the female partner is going to be looking at how that person makes them feel.
Absolutely.
And the strategies in the ebook are designed to help put the attention onto the seller so that they feel valued and they feel appreciated, and that you're not, as an agent, just kind of take the reins and run off in a different direction and not, you know, it's a relationship. It's a relationship that you're building with that seller at an extremely stressful time for them. And so you have to be aware of the emotional side.
Love it, Marcus. Thank you so much for your time. We're out of time right now on this episode, but I look forward to talking to you again next time. Marcus, of course, and the ebook is available. The ebook from Marcus is available. Marcus is not available as a download, but the ebook is. And all you can do is click on the link below. I'm getting all tongue-tied here. But anyway, make sure you get a copy of that ebook. It's a brilliant read. Very easy, and it's going to help you secure more listings, I can assure you. Hey, Marcus, look forward to catching up next time, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Always a pleasure. Speak soon.